Are you stuck, not sure where to go next, you're frustrated with where things are, but you just don't know how to move forward? That is exactly where I am. And I know how awful that feeling is. I don't like to admit that here on camera, but pretending that it's not happening isn't the best solution either. So if you're watching this, I want to help you understand why you may be stuck and just give you some little tips on how to eventually start rolling out of that situation where you are. This is definitely not a pep talk. I just wanted to sit with somebody and go over this in case you're just sitting in that exact same place where I am. I felt like you may need to hear something like this. So about a month and a half ago, things were really flying. I had just posted a video here that had got over 20,000 likes. It added new students into my course, and it allowed me to find a student. I've been looking into doing one-on-one coaching with older creators, and somebody had signed up, and I was so excited to be doing this. She had just lost her job, had found my videos, and found that UGC would be the way to move forward, which is what, like, that's my goal, is to help people do that. We started off doing 3-4 sessions, and just, you know, her energy in wanting to do this and learning how to write and script. You know, in my mind I had like, wow, this is how it's gonna be. You know, she's gonna do well, I'm gonna get a great referral, and that's gonna encourage other people to do this. I was so energized by this student. And last week she wrote to me and said she was quitting. Upon reflection, UGC was just not something she wanted to do after all that work we had done. And that hit me harder than I thought. I wasn't expecting this, so what do? It sent me to this place of dread and worry. Maybe nobody wants to be a creator over 40. Maybe, like, my message isn't reaching people. Maybe my whole idea to help people is just, like, the stupidest idea in the history of ideas. I mean, that one thing just sent me into this blank slate or fog of where you see me. Normally I make videos about after I've figured it out, how I've been through the steps in the process to build my creator business and pretty much be, here's what I've learned. This video is just me stuck right in the middle. I don't know the outcome of this as I'm talking to you. I can't. I'm just here, like, sitting right in the middle. I mean, last week in and of itself was rough. Monday, I just could not focus on work or doing this, and I basically just sat on my couch and watched K-pop Demon Hunter, which was like the best decision I'd probably made in the past 2 months. It's really good. It's like, oh, now I get it, and I allowed myself that time to, just shut everything off and just enjoy and just be. Then Wednesday came along, and that's when I got the note from my student, and that sent me into another spiral, a deeper spiral. I was just like, nope, I am going to watch another movie and just separate myself from what I was feeling. Just shut down. And then throughout the week, it was just going through the process of doing my UGC work. To my UGC clients, I apologize. I was not fully present when I was filming or writing. It was a rough week. And in the midst of a rough week, I can't bring my full self and energy. I mean, when that lack of purpose is gone. Again, if you're one of my clients and you saw that, and you wondered like what was going on, yeah, I'm sorry. The thing about being stuck is it's not. I found it to not be dramatic. It's quiet, and it just. I mean, I personally just sink into this void, this nothingness with not knowing how to get out. And now a lot of people will talk about getting out through having some sort of like inspiration. Like, that's just BS. Like, I'm sorry, that approach has just never worked for me. You know, I believe in shutting down and resting, which I've done. I'm a very project-based person. I need to know where we're going. That's how I've gotten through, is having a plan. Just like not having a plan to get out of where I am is just one of the lowest feelings that I can have. So that's where I've been recently. It's like needing that rest, but also, as important, it's needing to move, to pick up momentum. So Friday rolled around, and that was the day I was going to work on my next YouTube script. Now, my YouTube script writing process takes hours, and it's very, very thorough, and it's very, very detailed. I research the title. I see how the title, you know, kind of performed on other channels and such. I do, you know, the thumbnail, the all that stuff, and then like write the script. And then when you write the script, I film it, and that's the process that it takes to get one of these videos done. I do not have that energy or the willpower to do that. I was still stuck. But I realized that maybe this one time, like, I don't need to do any of that. Like, I can just hit record and talk to you, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I mean, I have an idea what the title is this, you know, the thumbnail is just kind of like thrown together, but I knew that inspiration was like never going to strike. It was just kind of like building to move forward. So, you know, at the same time, I got a note from my editor saying that I needed to refilm some stuff for another video. So I was like, okay, I have to set up the equipment anyway. Why not make this video of just talking to you? It's just a way to build momentum. So that's my thing. There was no muse behind this who inspired me to do this. It was starting, like just getting out, not waiting for the grand idea to arrive and just the lightning bolt or whatever. It was just thinking about what I do in just the most minimum way, which is just what I'm doing. Just hitting record and talking to you. I've got you know, bullet points, but I mean, this is as bare bones as I can get this. And to me, that's the key about getting out of these areas where wherever you're stuck is, what's the smallest thing you can do that can eventually build some sort of momentum. It's like movement creates momentum, and that momentum gets you back. So like moving somehow just kind of builds onto that. I mean, I think the worst thing you can do is just like waiting to be ready. We're always waiting for like the perfect moment when things align, and that's just, I'm sorry, that's BS again. Like, start before you're ready. That's, in my experience, that is the only way to move forward. So in thinking about this, I kind of realized this isn't really about being a creator. This is about being a human. You know, my thing is being a creator and coaching. Your thing may be trying to figure out your job, your health situation, your marriage. Maybe you are a creator and you're trying to figure out like what's next. There's, you know, the thing that I'm going through is very similar to what you are likely going to. We all hit the wall where the energy that we're putting in doesn't match the effort or the result, and we're just kind of left in that stage of just where do we go? And then like a lot of people were waiting for that permission, that timing, especially with, you know, if you want to be the people who want to become older creators, but are like, oh, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the time, the energy, you know, it's just, we're always just delay, where the only thing that's going to get you forward is pushing play before you're ready. That's how I started as a UGC creator. I didn't know this was going to work, but like I was not moving at all as I tried to seek a full-time job. So just like making those videos and just not knowing how it's going to go is what eventually just steamrolled me into being a creator and working from home and doing all the fun stuff that we do as creators. If I had waited for inspiration, I'd probably just still be driving around in Uber and just like constantly depressed, more so than now. So ChatGPT told me this one, and shout out to Chat for this one. I'll just read it. Being stuck doesn't mean you're broken. It means you care. Like you're still trying. And, if I didn't care about my student success, then that student leaving wouldn't have affected me. Oh, she's out. Okay, whatever. If I didn't truly care about her, like I would have been able to move on. But I wanted her to succeed. And that, her stepping away feels like a personal loss. So I think it's just a thing that just makes us human, So what do you do when you're stuck like this, like me? Like start small. I mean, ridiculously small. Think about what you need to do and find the smallest thing. Is it writing that email? Is it taking a walk? Is it, just like making one tweak to your resume? Is it, having that one conversation? Like the smallest thing possible that eventually will lead to your goal is the thing that's going to start building that momentum that gets you rolling. It reminds your brain that like, oh, I don't need to stay stuck. I'm moving forward. I mean, my energy in filming this video has been so much better than when I started and sat down and pressed record. So, I mean, it is just retraining your brain to think, oh, I don't need to stay still. Like, here we go, going forward. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to feel good. Like if you've watched this far, thank you, but I'm not really concerned about like views on this video. It's just part of the thing. And it's just getting something out there. That one small step that is moving forward. It doesn't just eliminate the thought of perfection and just get the thing out there. That's all I wanted to share today. I don't think there's a grand lesson or, a framework. I don't really have another video for you to watch. Being stuck is just, I think it's part of the process of doing something that is meaningful in your life. Maybe you needed to hear this. I hope it's helpful, and I hope that sitting with somebody in that same situation as you are has given you some clarity and some reason to move forward. I hope that if you've been like sitting in that fog, like I have been, maybe this is helping you start to clear the fog or part the ways or some other seafaring analogy that I can't really think of right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it there. I hope this has been helpful for you. It's been good for me to just kind of get the wheels rolling. Okay,